On today's show, we'll wrap up our series on Scientology. We'll start by taking a look at David Miscavige's shady rise to power and how he managed to take full reign over Scientology. We'll also discuss the abuse and torture that high-ranking members of the cult must endure and the many legal battles that Scientology has been involved in. We'll also take a look at how and why Scientology seems so damn untouchable. So let's finish this bitch. I'm Mike.
I'm Ian.
And I'm Dave. If you thought, when the fuck is this going to end? Stick around. Tonight we're rounding third and sliding into home. This is Necronomipod.
Yeah, I mean, it's ugly. There is no question. And that's the reason why I and others are speaking out, because we feel that the abuses that are ongoing within the Church of Scientology need to have the light of day shone on them and be seen for what they really are, because there is a perception that the church tries to put forward that everything is all butterflies and unicorns with the Church of Scientology, and yet on the other hand there are a lot of things that happen that are very egregious violations of human rights.
All right, so I, last minute here coming up with something. I don't have any rhyme or reason to today's F, Marry, Kill.
Do you normally?
Yes, I like to have them kind of categorized.
Okay.
Remember the plus 40s, or you don't remember any of this? Or the young heartthrobs? I like to have categories so all the contestants are similar.
I picture you with index cards, Dewey Decimal System at home, a whole drawer full of
I put
F, Marry,
some thought
Kills
into
that
it.
you pull out.
But then I was sitting here 2 minutes ago and realized I had no intro to this show, so I threw something up together. Ian, you better get your Google machine ready for this one.
I'm getting it. It's like The Office when they're doing Would You Rather, and Michael comes over, he's like, oh, I do this all the time before bed, and everyone just super awkward.
I don't remember that.
It's early. It's it might be the first season.
Like a Who'd You Rather?
It's
Who'd You Rather
yeah,
Do?
Who Would You Rather Do? It's the fire, or maybe it's the second season. It's the fire one where they're outside.
Oh, yes.
He walks away, he's like, oh, I play this every night before bed.
You guys want to go guys or girls first?
Guys first, please.
Okay.
Yeah, hit me with the dudes.
You guys ready? Zac Efron, Paul Rudd, Leonardo DiCaprio. F, Marry, Kill.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's a good one. I got mine.
I need the Jeopardy music playing.
Yeah, I got mine.
All right, go.
Kill Paul Rudd. Right? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. F, Leonardo DiCaprio, and marry Zac Efron.
Okay.
Zac Efron's a good looking dude.
Dave?
Okay. I'm going to kill Zac Efron.
Ooh.
I'm thinking Zac Efron, Ted Bundy movie.
Okay.
Hey, it could be any Zac Efron you want it to be.
Kill Zac, F Leo, marry Paul Rudd. I wouldn't mind spending the rest of my life with Paul Rudd.
I think I agree.
He seems amazing.
I would also marry Paul Rudd. This last one's tough.
Is it?
I guess I would F Leo and kill Zac Efron.
Man, so you guys
He's a good-looking guy, though. That would be tough.
Who? Zac Efron?
Yeah, but it's Leo. I mean,
he's just not that good looking of a dude to me, at least.
Still. We'd reenact that scene in Titanic with the hand on the back window.
Oh, I was picturing Gilbert Grape, Leo.
Don't do it, Dave.
You already got yelled at.
Yeah, you can call him a moron, too.
That's a good movie. I really like that
Gilbert
movie.
Grape?
Yeah.
It's great.
It's a really good movie. Does Leo make bad movies? For real, what's his worst movie?
I can't really think.
I didn't love The Beach. I didn't find it all very entertaining at all.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't think
Beach?
I've seen that.
Yeah.
What's his best movie? I'm biased just because I love the movie, but I'm going to say The Departed just because I fucking love that movie.
I love The Departed, but I'm going to have to go with the Dream movie.
Oh, Inception.
Inception.
I haven't seen that either.
Oh,
I
so
wanted
good.
to watch it. I just haven't seen it.
Great movie.
I loved Wolf of Wall Street. That
love
movie
that
was
too.
phenomenal.
I haven't seen that either.
That scene where they're crawling in slow motion because they found those super Quaaludes was awesome. Remember that?
Yeah. They got the old bottle.
Great. That's in
Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
So if I was going to watch one of those, what would I watch, though?
Inception.
Is it hard to follow?
For you, it might be. I'm just kidding. It's a little complicated.
All right, let's move on to the females. Emma Watson, Hayden Panettiere, I think that's how you say her name,
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
And Hillary Duff.
Kill Emma Watson. F. Hayden, marry Hillary Duff. That's an easy
I
one.
100% agree with
Yeah.
that. That's my list too. Although Emma is still nothing to shy away from, but compared to those other two, I think she's got to go.
Yeah, I'm with you.
You said marry Hillary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you Googling all of them?
No, I'm not. I'm Googling Hillary Duff, though, because my
Make sure you
memory
see a
of-
recent photo.
Yeah, that's what
not
I'm
Lizzie
trying to
McGuire.
do. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Not trying to Children of God this episode.
These never get old.
We just do a whole show of F. Mary Kills.
We could do a whole
Maybe for our
podcast
1 year
of it.
anniversary.
I would kill Hayden, F Hillary Duff, and marry Emma Watson.
Wow.
Are you a Harry Potter nerd?
I am not. I've never read any of those books, but
Okay.
I like the last two movies. They're all right.
You're going to get a lot of heat from people in the Discord for killing Paul Rudd, for the record. Just saying.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Not passing up on Zac Efron.
This guy's all about it.
So in other news, starting today, Sunday, we are now offering a $1 tier on the Patreon. If you want to become a patron for $1 and just help out the show, give back in a little, a small way, we'd appreciate it. You will get a shout out on the show for your patronage. Just wanted to put something else out there to give people a chance to sign up if they wanted. The bonus content will still be available for the $5 patrons. But if you'd like to help us out in a small way and get a shout out on the show, we're offering a $1 level of the Patreon, and that is effective today. So patreon.com/Necronomipod. Also, Amazon.com, search Necronomipod if you want to do any of your holiday shopping. We now have the logo shirt, the alien abduction shirt, the Mr. Mugg shirt, and the Zodiac shirt, all available in men's and women's tees, men's and women's tanks, long sleeve tees, and zip up pullover hoodies. Not zip up, pullover hoodies. So you can get any of those available in any of the clothing style you want. And I believe there's various colors, right, for the t-shirts and the
Yeah,
tanks?
depending on the design, some things don't work with certain colors, but yeah, there's a wide variety.
So check that out. I think they're all together as like 17 or 18 different items.
Yeah, bunch of
posted.
stuff.
So just go to Amazon, search Necronomipod, and all of our merch will pop up. And one last update for me, just to make sure people didn't think I skimped out. I am still rolling through Breaking Bad. I'm about 4 episodes into season 4. Still quite enjoying it and still on pace to finish by the end of the year.
Very good.
Nice. So what do we say? There's 5 seasons?
Yeah, so I think season
Okay.
4 is like 12 or 13 episodes, and then season 5 is the longest at like 16. So
Should hit your mark then.
I should have.
What happens when you finish?
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll watch Inception. Maybe I'll let them vote on a movie I should watch.
Oh.
We'll have to see. I don't know. I'll do something. That was fun to do.
I mean, like, are we going to have a cool down discussion about your thoughts overall on the show?
Oh, we could do. Yeah, maybe we'll do a small little debrief about the show overall.
Yeah, that sounds good.
It's been entertaining. I've been enjoying it. I have thoughts, but I'll save them for the end because you never know how things will change.
Very good.
Well, so I am still watching it. I'm still enjoying it. Season 4. Plow through a few more episodes here maybe this week and take it from there.
Plow away, my friend.
Speaking of 4, part 4. This has been 5 weeks.
It has been.
Who'd have thought?
Well, it would have been over, but I got sick and.
It's true. Well, we were going to have that interview dropped anyways.
Yeah.
Hopefully everyone enjoyed that. If you haven't listened to it, go back and check it out in the archives. Ian's interview with Tony Ortega.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking good for your inaugural interview, I thought.
Thank you, sir. I was quite nervous.
Not bad at all.
Oh, you did great. And then I think the plan will be we're going to try to do interviews as like a bonus shows in the future when we have content. So again, if you want to sign up for Patreon at the $5 level, that's when those shows will be available. But we dropped that one to everyone. The plan was to drop it to everyone anyways, just to give you a taste of an interview show. But unfortunately, we had to use it as a Sunday show because, Ian, you were sick last week.
Yep.
But let's get to it. Part 4, Scientology.
So part 3, we left off. L. Ron's wife and a number of other Scientologists had gone to prison for their roles in infiltrating and stealing documents from government agencies, mainly the IRS. L. Ron had lived a life on the run for the last few years until he died in 1986, and the church was taken over by David Miscavige. So we're going to have to backtrack a little bit to get into who exactly David Miscavige is. David was born in 1960 in Bristol Township, Bucks County, Pennsylvania, to the Roman Catholic Polish-Italian family of Ron and Loretta Miscavige. David has a twin sister, Denise, and they were raised primarily in Willingboro Township, New Jersey. As a child, he played baseball and football, but he suffered from asthma and severe allergies. So his dad got interested in Scientology and sent David there to see a Scientologist, and according to both his father and David, after a 45-minute Dianetic session, David was cured of his ailments. So
That's pretty amazing.
yeah, no more asthma, no more
45
allergies.
minutes out the door.
Fantastic.
How long has medical science been trying to cure asthma?
Forever.
Took Dianetics 45 minutes.
It's phenomenal.
Those Ingrams, man, you got to get them off you. The family joined the Church of Scientology in 1971 and eventually moved to the church's world headquarters in St. Hill Manor, England. By the age of 12, he was conducting Scientology auditing sessions, and David is remembered by the church as, quote, the 12-year-old prodigy.
Imagine being audited by a little punk 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Hey, mister, did you ever lick a butthole?
You pay all that money, sit down as a little 12-year-old.
The 12-year-old. Hey, what do you like to do? You ever touch your pee-pee while thinking about Xenu? 12-year-old.
I think
Fuck out of here.
that was actual audio we got, right?
Yeah.
From
It's from the archives.
not our archives.
Their archives.
So he was officially the youngest professional Scientology auditor.
What a prodigy.
Yeah. The family returned to Philadelphia within a few years, where David attended high school at Marple Newtown High School. In 1976, at the age of 16, David left high school with his father's permission to move to Clearwater, Florida, and join the Sea Org. So he just said, fuck school.
Smart.
He's going
I'm
to get
out.
a real education.
It paid off for him in the long run.
Yeah,
kids.
apparently.
Some of his earliest jobs at the Sea Org included delivering teletexts, groundkeeping, food service, and taking photographs for Scientology brochures. Like we talked about in part 3, in 1977, David worked directly under L. Ron Hubbard as a cameraman for the Scientology movies that he was making at that grapefruit farm in La Quinta, California. He was making Scientology training movies, and then he was also dabbling in his Hollywood ideas with the movie about the FBI getting blown up and all that.
That's right, yeah.
Stupid shit.
Sure, it was very dramatic footage.
That would be great to get our hands on for a watch along.
Yeah, is that out there
do that.
anywhere?
Can you imagine?
Not that I know of. I've seen pictures of David Miscavige as a kid, like sitting next to Hubbard with the camera and all that. Looked like a real movie set, but I'm sure they weren't as good as real movies.
Maybe we'll do Battlefield Earth as a movie watch along.
Oh God.
I don't know what it is. Let's do it.
It's another one of his later books that they made. Travolta. They made a movie with Travolta. It's really bad.
I think it's there was like this big discussion a couple years ago. Some website, or it wasn't Rotten Tomatoes, but something like it did a like the worst movies
The
ever.
Razzies, right?
Yeah, and it was voted the worst movie ever made.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, it's awful.
Yeah,
We got to do that one then.
yeah, it's bad. David showed up in 77 working for L. Ron as the cameraman, and by 1979, David was made the head of the Messengers, which, if we remember, the Messengers started out as a group of all girls that were just brutal,
Like the 11 to 13-year-olds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
in control of everything, and then male members were allowed to start joining the Messengers. And within 2 years of being there, David was head of the Messengers, so he's the top guy.
He's rising up.
Yep. By 1980, Hubbard was no longer appearing at public functions related to Scientology, and by some accounts of people around at that time, Miscavige had already taken control of the organization all the way back in 1980.
He's only 20 years old.
This is where we start to get into all these legal entities that are part of Scientology, and I didn't know about a lot of them until I was doing this outline. But they have like a ton of these side legal entities, like to move money around and do all kind of stuff. But in 1981, he was placed in charge of the Watchdog Committee and the All Clear Unit with tasks of heading various legal claims against Hubbard. Miscavige also became in charge of the Author Services Incorporated, which was an entity to manage Hubbard's literary and financial affairs, which was established in the same year.
I'm guessing that's probably the most lucrative at that point, right? The author services?
You would assume.
All that publishing stuff and those ridiculous books.
Yeah. You would assume that's where the money was at.
Yeah.
Do you own his books? Do you have those?
I don't have any Elron books, no.
Are those easily available now?
You can go to Amazon and get most. You're not going to, they like the operating Thetan levels, like the OT 1 through 8, you got to get that directly from them. But a lot of stuff you can get off Amazon.
You want me to sign you up with your home address and order?
Well, I was going to say, did we talk about this on part 3 or no? With DirecTV, you get the Scientology network.
I don't think we talked about it.
No, because I found that out after I interviewed Tony Ortega.
Okay. Yeah. So I have DirecTV. I've been watching a little bit of that Scientology network. It is just like nonstop paid infomercials for Scientology. And they have this really like just intense commercial about like the meaning of life and what is our purpose and what is your purpose here. And it's all just a big like 2-minute long commercial for one of L. Ron's books. Made me want to buy it right then and there.
Yeah.
Did you pull the trigger?
The channel's turning me into a Scientologist, guys.
I would lean to suspect that they don't promote that nonsense book that they try to hide about how we all came from clams and all that other shit.
What was the name of that one? I'll have to look out for that.
The History of Man, I believe.
I can't remember the channel number for DirecTV, but if any of you have DirecTV, just Google the Scientology network or channel. It'll pop up. It's like 331 or something. I had it on for like 12 hours straight the one day when I was doing my research for the Benoit episode. And before I realized that I still had that channel on. And I was like, well, they have my information now because I just gave them everything.
Didn't L. Ron die the same year you were born? Maybe his Thetan jumped into your body that year.
What year did he die?
86.
I'm early in the year, though.
I'm 87. Maybe I have him. Maybe I'm the reincarnation of Elron.
Uh-oh. Watch
Scary.
out.
Maybe I'm going to go become a race car driver, or the blue streaker.
In this life and the next.
And then
the next.
The red
And
one.
the next.
The blue and the red. And then he ran out of colors, so he just gave up race car driving.
So after the Guardian's offices, after their involvement in Operation Snow White, and like we said, Mary Sue had gone to jail along with some other Scientologists. David talked Mary Sue into resigning from the Guardian's office and purged several top members of that office through ethics proceedings. We don't have time to do the whole ethics thing, to go down that route of what ethics is to them. It's just basically another thing.
You don't want to do another 5 weeks of Scientology?
No, but it's basically another thing of you're in trouble and you have to like redo courses and all kind of shit, but it's basically another punishment type
Would this
thing.
be like if that little dog started barking at you? You got to go through some ethics shit. I mean, I know that one they just throw you overboard.
Possibly.
Day, but
Was she still in prison at this point?
I believe she had just gotten out.
Oh, okay.
Or was close to getting out.
Thanks for doing time for us and not ratting us out. Congratulations on getting out, and we're kicking you out of Scientology.
Thanks for putting your name on everything.
Yeah.
here's your bill.
Freeloader bill.
Freeloader bill. That's what it is.
Well, and that's the thing too, is like we said before. I don't know if we talked about the messenger's role in it, but Elron had not, like, when that shit went down, he just went to the grapefruit farm to make movies and said, "Fuck this," and like there would be messages like mail being sent for Mary Sue and like what was going on with her court stuff, and the messengers would either just throw it away or like cut that part of the letter out.
Stand-up guy.
Yeah. So regarding Mary Sue, St. Petersburg Times in 1998 wrote an article, "The Man Behind Scientology," and they said, quote, "During 2 heated encounters, Miscavige persuaded Mary Sue to resign. Together, they composed a letter to Scientologists confirming her decision, all without ever talking to L. Ron Hubbard." According to accounts, Mary Sue changed her mind, thought she had been tricked, but Miscavige says that that's not true, and they remained friends going forward.
That's what he said.
You're right.
Has she ever been seen again?
I'm not sure. She probably would have got fucking fair game to hell and back if she tried to say anything. In 1982, Miscavige set up a new organizational structure to release Hubbard from personal liability and to handle all of L. Ron's personal wealth through a corporate entity outside of the Scientology organization. He established the Religious Technology Center, and this one is where you're getting into the real money. This one was in charge of licensing Scientology's intellectual property and Author Services Incorporated to manage the proceeds. So,
cash cow there, buddy.
Yeah, that's a lot of money happening. Miscavige has held the title of chairman of the board of Religious Technology Center since the organization was founded. The Church of Spiritual Technology was created at the same time with an option to repurchase all of the Religious Technology Center's intellectual property rights. So it's like a kind of maybe a confusing web of entities, but what it amounts to is that even before L. Ron died, he was putting things in place to where no matter what, he was going to be in charge.
Mm-hmm.
Is what
Just
it
a bunch
seems
of shell companies to hide.
That L. Ron was putting things in place that he was going to be in charge of.
That David was doing all of this because L. Ron's out on the run.
Okay, you said L. Ron. You meant David was putting things in place to make sure he was in charge.
Right.
Okay, I
right.
think you had said L. Ron.
Oh,
okay. And I was like, wait, L. Ron never prepared for the future.
It's probably debatable whether, can we call him LRH?
If you
Is
want,
that what they call him? LRH?
Yeah, if you want to buy into
I call him Ronnie, but I'm a Scientologist, so Ronnie.
Like, it's probably debatable that he even knew what was going on with all this, right? He didn't really have any direct contact any longer.
Yeah, this was all.
It was him taking over.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of these legal entities, what this is him making damn sure that he had control whenever L. Ron died.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Can we call him Laron?
Call him with his aunts. I think it was his aunts called him Laffy.
Laffy.
Yeah,
Because it was
Lafayette. Yeah.
Oh.
Laffy.
Old Laffy.
And I think that's where Laffy Taffy came from. So
really,
every time you eat Laffy Taffy, you're supporting Scientology. Now we're gonna get sued by Laffy Taffy. Like, listen, you fuck faces. Our shitty jokes have nothing to do with Scientology.
Laffy Taffy might be the worst candy ever made. One of the worst.
There's one flavor I like maybe the cherry or something. I don't know. I like that one, but it sticks to your teeth. It's not good.
Yeah, and it feels like your toot's coming out when you pull it off.
Right.
Yeah, that's awful.
Well, it's not as bad as what's the other one? The now and laters.
I like those.
That's the one. It feel like your teeth get stuck together.
Thing.
Yeah, you're supposed to just suck on it, man.
That's what she said. And he said. If you're interested in our favorite Starburst flavors, go back and listen to the last Patreon episode. If you're not a patron, sign up or patreon.com/necronomapod.
Because that's worth $5.
We list off
Selling
and
that,
discuss
fella.
Starburst flavors.
Best $5 you'll ever spend.
Hey man, you find another podcast that gives you 3 shows a month for $5.
True.
So in 1982, there was a probate case where Nibs came back into the picture. And
Nibs!
And
I do love some Nibs.
Where's Nibs been?
Nibs is, you know what Nibs is? He's like he reminds me of like just wrestling with like heel turn, like he's a face. he's like, you were like, oh, Nibs is, he's fighting for the right thing. Then it's like he hits you in the back with a fucking chair when you're not looking.
And
like,
God damn.
Nibs,
why the fuck did you even show back up?
Yeah.
It's causing shit, man.
Like when I was reading Tony Ortega's book for that interview, like Nibs shows up and he's like acting all like he's in good graces, and he turns around and gives the fucking typewriter shit to Scientology. It's like, goddamn.
Still, I want a Nibs t-shirt. Are there photos of Nibs?
Yeah.
I just want his face and it just says Nibs. And we'll spell Nibs with a Z.
He's like a shitty version of Elron, if you can imagine that.
Well, Elron was a shitty version of Elron.
Yeah.
So.
I was going to say,
What does this guy look like?
You mean looking wise or just person wise?
No, looking wise.
Really?
Yeah.
So he's worse than Bozo the Clown, Elron?
I mean, if Elron would have cut his hair, then I don't know.
All right. We'll let you all at home Google Nibs and do an F. Mary Kill with L. Ron Nibs and Miscavige.
Oh, God. I'm not even going to go down. I was trying to think of it for a second.
What's the Office episode? Michael was locked in a room with Hitler, Toby, and one other person, and he had 2 bullets. He'd shoot Toby twice.
Oh, yeah.
Who's the third person?
I can't remember.
Oh, no.
So Nibs comes back in 1982 and goes after Scientology in a probate case, accusing David Miscavige of embezzling and manipulating his father. L. Ron denied this in a written statement, saying that his business affairs were being well managed by the Author Services Incorporated, which David was the chairman of the board. In that same document, L. Ron called David Miscavige, quote, a trusted associate and, quote, a good friend who had kept Hubbard's affairs in good order. A judge ruled that this statement was authentic. Based on what? I'm not sure. And the case was dismissed on June 27th, 1983. I would suspect that that is not real.
Miscavige wrote the letter?
I mean, I'd say that's more likely than just my opinion. It's not...
We are not endorsing nor denying that opinion.
Yeah. In October of 1982, David required Scientology missions to enter new trademark usage contracts, which established stricter policies on the use of Scientology materials. Over the 2 years following the formation of the Religious Technical Services, David and that entity team replaced most of Scientology's upper and middle management. So he's just constantly on the purge throughout this whole thing.
Cleaning house, putting in his own people, right? That he trusts.
Yeah. I think, and it was when I was watching stuff, I think it was Leah Remini maybe was talking about some of this stuff and like the mentality that L. Ron put in place. And it was like, this, if it wasn't David Miscavige, somebody would have stepped up and done this. That like this was the mentality.
Yeah. Was she part of the Scientology back then?
She was born into it. That's how she was a member. So she, I'm not sure
Day
what
one,
year she was born,
okay.
but yeah, she was born into it. A number of those people that were kicked out attempted to establish breakaway organizations such as the Advanced Ability Center, led by a guy named David Mayo. He was a former board member of the Religious Technical Services who had also been L. Ron Hubbard's personal auditor. So that probably would have been a fun job to sit there and audit L. Ron.
Oh, yeah. Sure, nothing weird going on there.
All of these failed, and the Advanced Ability Center closed in 1984, just 2 years after opening.
So they're like bad sitcom spinoffs. They all
They
all failed.
Yeah.
They're the Joni Loves Chachi of Scientology.
What are some of the best spinoffs? Not to spin off of this topic, but
Frasier?
Frasier has to be number one, right?
Yeah. I mean,
I can't even think of any other at the top of my head.
Jeffersons? Going back to the
Was a good one.
70s.
That was a good one. How long did that lasted a while, didn't it?
I got nothing.
CSI, every city in the country.
Yeah. Well, same with Law and Order.
Law and Order.
Every crime
But
unit,
those
every city.
are those considered spin-offs? They don't have any like characters that overlap, right? They're just
True. Laverne and Shirley.
What was that a spin-off of?
Happy Days.
Yeah. So that's
Right?
all right.
Wasn't it Happy Days?
I don't know.
I think so.
Maybe.
Maybe not. I don't know.
I'm going with Frasier. Final answer.
Sounds good.
What do you prefer, Frasier or Cheers?
Cheers.
I agree.
Cheers.
Frasier's really funny though too, but I like Cheers. As you were.
So when L. Ron died in 1986, David announced Hubbard's death to Scientologists at the Hollywood Palladium. And like we said in part 3, right before Hubbard died, an order from him circulated throughout the Sea Org that promoted Scientologist Pat Broker and his wife to the new rank of loyal officer, which would effectively make them the highest ranking members. And L. Ron promoted himself to admiral. Whatever the difference between Commodore and Admiral is, he changed it.
You, sir, have been promoted to Admiral. You sank my battleship.
Shortly after this, David Miscavige said that this order had been forged, and he announced Hubbard's death to 1,800 Scientologists at the Hollywood Palladium and assumed the position of head of the Scientology organization. he still holds the rank of captain, which is the highest ranking member of the Sea Org. So he is the top guy now.
As claimed by him.
He said it. So
He's
He
no
said it.
Commodore.
He said it. Well, captain's the highest ranking of the Sea Org, at least.
So Hubbard's kids got nothing?
absolutely nothing.
Well, what are you going to give Nib something? Get the fuck
There's
out of
4
here,
other
Nib.
ones.
I don't know if they wanted it bad enough. Dave.
I don't think he never even saw them. I don't think that they wanted anything to do with him at all. I can't remember all the details on it, but his daughter Alexis that he had with Sarah Northrup, Sarah from the Jack Parsons ordeal, just was like, yeah, don't really care,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, understandable.
Yeah.
the fuck out.
But I guess if Hubbard wanted these other people to take over, like maybe put a little effort to it and have some attorneys.
Well, that's what I was going to ask.
You know,
what
just-
kind of health was he in at the end here?
He had
Like
had
when-
some strokes.
So, like when
reportedly.
Miscavige was doing this, was he fighting it? Was he aware of it? Did he not care?
I don't know if he cared. I think it's like
Or
any
was he trying
cult.
to detach himself?
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of a cult leader that puts it. I don't even know if a cult leader would put forth plans for after they're gone because it is about them.
But
They're so
the cult
self-centered,
leaders-
yeah.
The cult leaders, though, were also obsessed with the power. Clearly, here there's someone else rising in the ranks, and he's not doing anything about it.
But he can't
Like-
come back now. He's fucked. His wife is in jail for infiltrating the
So
IRS.
he was like kind of hiding out.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what it was.
Well, they were riding around in an RV, right? Up in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, doing that, staying in some apartments, and
Making shitty movies every now and then.
he was named an unindicted co-conspirator of that. So he wasn't in trouble, but they still wanted to talk to him, and he didn't want to talk to them.
Yeah.
So there was no way he was coming back. So things are kind of quiet for Scientology for the next couple of years. One thing that L. Ron we talked about throughout this is that he was never good with money, and he had never paid taxes on any of this shit as this was all going on. So they were facing about $1 billion in back taxes.
Oh, is that all?
So that was looming over their heads throughout the next couple years between when David took over and what we're going to get into next.
Do you
And
have any idea how much capital was on hand at this point? I mean, if you have back taxes that are $1 billion, how much capital's left?
if I remember correctly, it was said by Marty Rathbun that it was like 12 million. If they put everything together, it was like 12, but somewhere between 12 and 16 million.
Million.
So
With a $1 billion tax bill.
right. So if
That's not good.
the IRS were to come down on them, there's no more Scientology.
Yeah, this should have been the end of it.
Yeah.
But what happened?
Well, in 1991, David Miscavige with Marty Rathbun, who is a high-profile defector we'll get into more in a bit, went to the IRS headquarters to arrange a meeting with Commissioner Fred T. Goldberg Jr. And like we said, for more than 2 decades, the IRS had refused to recognize Scientology as a tax-exempt organization, which they tried to fight back with Operation Snow White, and that blew up in their faces. Prior to this meeting, Scientology had filed more than 50 lawsuits against the IRS, and according to the New York Times, quote, Scientology's lawyers hired private investigators to dig into the private lives of IRS officials and to conduct surveillance operations to uncover potential vulnerabilities, and taken documents from an IRS conference and sent them to church officials, and created a phony news bureau in Washington to gather information on church critics. The church also financed an organization of the IRS whistleblowers that attacked the agency publicly.
Wow.
So what they did, a specific thing that Marty Rathbun has said that he was a part of, one of these type of operations, was that they would find out where the IRS was having like some type of a conference thing around the country. He would go himself with private investigators and other church officials or members of the church, whatever, and they would sit there and they would watch, like in the bar afterwards and stuff, and see which IRS guy, like say they know damn well this guy's married and he's in the bar flirting with some girl, and they'll take notes on whose name it was, and when they see shit going down, or if that watching money be misused, like the IRS is using government money for these bar parties or whatever,
Right.
and make note of all of it. And then the plan would be to come back and be like, hey, you know what? You were cheating on your wife, buddy. We saw you. And
Damn.
Which is a felony, and
it's like, what, extortion?
yeah, blackmail, extortion.
Can't do that, but
They do a lot of things that you can't do. And yet
Yeah,
they're
clearly.
this is
still around.
this is a group that just seems to be able to break tons of laws. That
Do they deny all of this?
They deny it. But I mean, it's pretty. It's really. I mean, from defectors, it's true that they just bombarded them with lawsuits. I mean,
That's true. I mean, the lawsuits are true. Those exist. So
at the meeting with Commissioner Goldberg, David offered to call off Scientology's suits against the IRS in exchange for tax exemptions. This led to a 2-year negotiating process where the church was granted recognition as a nonprofit, religious, or charitable organization in the United States, which creates a tax exemption for the Church of Scientology International and its organizations, and tax deductions for those who contribute to their programs. Which is interesting because there are a lot of very, very wealthy people that give millions of dollars to Scientology.
Yeah. So is the implication that they found something substantial enough either on the commissioner of the IRS or someone close to him that they forced his hand with this? It must have been something.
Yeah, I mean, you would think. I mean, it's admitted from people that were involved in it that they went and watched for, things to dig up dirt on people.
Yeah. I guess just after all that time, why did they cave? I guess is my question.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing concrete out there, but you would assume that there would have had to have been some type of corruption would have been there.
Yeah.
But I mean, essentially, from just at face value, it's, hey, we've been just filing lawsuit after lawsuit against you, and it wasn't just the IRS. Like, it was individual IRS agents were getting hit with lawsuits from Scientology. So it's like, we'll make all your headaches go away. You just give us that.
Wore them down.
Yep.
I mean, ideologically, I don't have a problem with it. I don't think that Scientology as a religion is any more strange than any other religion. I mean, none of them should be tax exempt, but
right,
they're no different than any other religion.
Belief wise, yeah, I agree with that. Belief wise, I think I don't know.
I think the fact that it's more modern day stuff kind of happening plays a part in it too.
Mm-hmm.
As I think we'll get into some of that stuff too in a minute. But yeah, I agree with you. Like, if you think all religions are kooky, they would all kind of fall into the same category.
Yeah, I mean, there's other things about Scientology that run into that cult territory, but
Jesus would pay taxes, Dave.
What's his quote about giving to Caesar, render to Caesar what's owed to Caesar?
He would pay taxes if the IRS came and told him he had to. I don't know.
Well, the at least one of my biggest issues or things that just sticks out like a sore thumb with Scientology is if I say something bad about the Pope, if I'm like, oh, the Pope's an asshole, and I say it and put it out to the internet, no one from the Catholic Church is going to start fucking tailing my car and
True.
digging up dirt on me to try and harass me.
That's a valid point.
I mean, there's other things that them being a cult, but you don't really see them do anything for communities either. You know what I mean? Like, they talk all this charitable work. They don't really do anything. They just hold on to all this money, you know? Yeah.
I thought they do like disaster relief and show up.
Well, they show up with these tents and stuff, but it's always about getting people to convert over to them. It's not
in their weakest time.
Their intentions are always just that, not so much helping people.
Yeah.
Which I could say is the same for a lot of religions.
There's no proof of that, Dave.
There's
now
no
we're
proof.
assuming.
So, senior Scientologist officials and the IRS later issued a statement that the ruling was based on a 2-year inquiry and voluminous documents that showed the church was qualified for the exemptions. Bullshit. To announce the settlement with the IRS, Miscavige gathered 10,000 members of Scientology in the Los Angeles sports arena, where he delivered a 2.5-hour speech and proclaimed, quote, "The war is over." Have you ever seen videos of that? They have this big
I
screen.
think I have seen clips of it. Yeah.
Flashing in white
war is
letters. The
over.
war's over, and there's fucking fireworks going off and shit.
Meanwhile, people are having seizures because of all the flashing lights being thrown in their faces.
It's a very aggressive speech. It's got
It's a big win for them.
It's got dictator written all over it. It's very aggressive. I won't say what dictator it reminds me of, but it has dictator written all over it.
Well, and also, Mike, all those people have been audited and read Dianetics, so they're not subject to seizures from strobe lighting.
That's true.
so
They've been healed of.
just making things up at this point.
They've been healed of seizure activity.
The fuck are you talking about? Those
Well, guys,
engrams are gone.
I'm still going through my auditing, so I'm not clear yet.
So as the board, or as the chairman of the board of Religious Technology Center, David Miscavige works primarily from Scientology's Gold Base near Hemet, California. Scientologists often refer to him as DM or COB for chairman of the board.
Fancy.
They always have to talk in those
Coded.
Yeah, like the.
Well, like you said
acronyms.
earlier, LRH.
Oh yeah,
I like LRH.
But didn't you say that's what they call them?
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
Do they like salute the picture of him on the wall and
Yeah,
stuff?
that's the thing of when they gave Tom Cruise that big fucking medal thing.
Yeah,
They,
the whole audience turns and faces.
Yeah, and Tom faced him like he's a goddamn Commodore or whatever, Admiral. Face that big picture to LRH and like gave him a stiff salute.
Yeah.
Weird. That's something that always sticks out with me too with this. But they treat him like they believe he is a military hero, but they treat him like that, like he's some like general or something. Meanwhile, he's just bombing magnetic deposits in the fucking
whole thing was
ocean.
fake.
So before we get into David Miscavige's two main controversies, which would be the Hole and his wife, Shelly Miscavige.
That's not the same thing, right?
No.
Okay, just making clear.
The Hole is a building.
Boom.
I thought maybe that was his pet name for his wife or something.
Shut up, hole.
Ugh. I just
Sorry.
wanted to touch on something real quick with them, like how they've expanded recently. Scientology initiated a strategy in 2003 to build new or revamped churches of Scientology called Ideal Orgs in every main city around the world. And since then, over 70 new or remodeled churches have been opened, including facilities in Madrid, New York, London, Berlin, Mexico City, Rome, Washington, D.C., Tel Aviv, Atlanta, Miami, San Diego, Taiwan, and then the one that we talked about in our One News episode here in Columbus, Ohio.
It's a lot of places.
Yeah. In 2012, David Miscavige also opened the Church of Scientology's National Affairs Office in Washington, D.C., which he declared to be a, quote, an office designed to give back to the United States government that steadfastly guaranteed our religious rights, the very freedom that allows us to do what we're doing today.
How about pay your fucking tax bill if you want to give back?
Yeah. Scientology says that the National Affairs Office was built to, quote, oversee programs around the country and the world dealing with human rights, drug addiction, literacy, and disaster response.
Which they do, right? They show up for disaster response.
Yeah, but I would argue that they do nothing for human rights because of their views on gay people.
Yeah.
And they definitely can't do anything about drug addiction. They claim they can cure that. And
we all know how that works.
Yeah. But
well, I don't know. Hasn't a drug addict ever tried Dianetics?
Yeah.
And successfully, right?
No. Well, I mean, there are studies out there I was reading where people say, like, if you really, really believe something enough, you can, kind of will some things away. But is it Australia?
Sounds like hypnotism to me, but what do I know?
Or magic.
Yeah, all the same thing.
What was it? Australia. I think it was Australia.
Ooh, Dave. What do they drink there?
Beer.
What kind of beer?
Lots of beer.
It was I can't remember the guy's or his government title or whatever, but they put out like a commercial on TV out there. It was like, they're a dangerous cult. They cannot cure you of drug or alcohol addiction. He fucking put them on blast.
Good.
He called them a dangerous cult like 5 or 6 times in this little commercial.
Yeah. They had a couple of Fosters before he filmed the commercial.
Yeah, that dude wasn't fucking around.
What does Foster's mean?
A beer.
But isn't it Australian for something?
It's Australian for beer. Even though apparently no one in Australia drinks Foster's,
just like
as they
saying
keep
it
telling me, but I
It
still
gets them
like
all
to say
riled
it.
up when we say that.
I've never had Foster's before. We've probably talked about that.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's all right. Yeah.
I would like to know what they really drink. Like, what's
They've
a
said-
real Australian beer?
Coopers.
Can you buy that here, though? I mean, like something we could get our hands on.
I don't think so.
I think Coopers is like, like our Miller Lite would be like a big.
I thought they
Distributor
shit on
like
us,
that.
though, for drinking Miller Lite.
I imagine Australia to have like really heavy fucking like super high alcohol content beers.
You call them a bunch of drunks?
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it.
No, there's not. No, there's not.
But if anybody's interested that hasn't listened to the Tony Ortega interview that I did with him, at the end of that interview, he gets into the idea behind them opening up all these ideal orgs and how they finance them and stuff. It's pretty interesting.
Interview with Tony Ortega, available in the archives.
All right, so with that, let's get into the whole. This is
Before we get started, does anyone find glory in the hole?
I would lean to say not.
I was
Okay.
going to guess not,
Okay.
based on what we're about to
So
learn.
it's not a glory hole.
No, this is
David Miscavige might call it otherwise.
this is kind of where shit hits the fan for them when this all came out in 2009, because this was when like Anonymous released the leaked Tom Cruise video with
yeah.
him laughing all crazy and
With the turtleneck.
talking about SPs and
Remember when Anonymous protested at all the Scientology places? Was it Project Chanology?
yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, they were all over Scientology.
Yeah.
It was because of that. It was because of that video, because that video leaked and Scientology was going hard on like just throwing legal shit at every website that posted it, everything. Because that was an insider video.
They got a hold of it.
Yeah, because he's sitting there talking about, talked about in part 3, keeping Scientology working, KSW. I mean, that's where it's laying out where, you get into destroying people. It's validating, the fair game stuff. And yeah, in that video, Tom Cruise is talking about how great KSW is and all Scientologists should apply it to their lives. And it's like, what are you talking about, man?
Fuck you, Tom.
Defectors from the church say that around 2002, David Miscavige began to publicly slap, kick, punch, or shove executives at the base who pissed him off. And he's a very small guy too. He's like
He's a tiny little
5'3".
Yeah, he's a small guy.
I stomped this guy's ass. You're slapping me?
He's the same height as Tom Cruise, right? He's like 5'5", 5'6".
Did he have like big bodyguards with him at all times? Is he one of those guys?
I would assume, and from things I watched, and it's like it's tough to put yourself in the mindset, but it's like when you've done this for like 20 years and this dude is the next thing to God or whatever, and he smacks you. What
What are you
I don't
gonna
know.
do?
Yeah.
Take it. Take it.
John Brassow, the estate manager at Gold Base and a veteran Sea Org member, said that David Miscavige would, quote, constantly berate them, nitpicking everything they're doing, pointing out inadequacies, ineffectiveness, lack of results, blaming it all on them and their inability to do anything right. And on the other hand, saying how he's got to do everything himself. He's the only one that can get anything done right. According to emails said to have come from Miscavige's, quote, communicator, which would be his personal assistant responsible for passing on transcribed messages from him, he routinely berated members with terms such as CSMF, meaning cocksucking motherfucker, and YSCOHB, meaning you suck cock on Hollywood Boulevard.
Okay.
That's very direct and
That one's pretty specific.
yeah.
This church is awesome.
Cocksucking motherfucker, I think I use 4 times a day on average.
Yeah.
All the time.
So we talked about Hubbard throwing people overboard while on sea with the Sea Org, and some Scientology branches adopted a land-based version of this by making staff members stand up against a wall while other Scientologists threw buckets of water on them.
It's the original Ice Bucket Challenge.
They supposedly stopped this in the 1970s, but according to author Janet Reitman, David Miscavige reintroduced this in the 2000s and ordered dozens of senior executives to go outdoors in the middle of the night and assemble at the base of a swimming pool or in its muddy lake, and then they would be forced to jump in or pushed in the water, often in freezing conditions, while Miscavige just stood there and watched them. And these aren't like low-ranking people or anything, too. I know we said like top executives a couple of times, but these aren't like any of these are not rank and file people. These are high up.
The people that run everything.
Yeah.
So when we talk about executives of the church, is this their main job? I mean, they're not like, a part-time deacon in the church or something. This is their main gig, and they're running this whole organization, right?
Yeah. So like a really good example, and we're going to get into him in a bit, and Tony Ortega talked about him a bit in the interview, is Mike Rinder. He was like the big cleanup guy for the church, the spokes. I mean, he does the show with Leah Remini.
Yeah, right.
There's the documentary that I sent you, the Scientology and Me one. That's that 30-minute BBC one
with the BBC reporter traveling all over.
Right, John Sweeney.
Yeah.
So he goes at one point in that, Mike Rinder shows up to say like this fair game, like no one's fucking following you, you're full of shit kind of thing, and then would go right back to the hole and get beat up by David Miscavige. And I mean, these are high up guys in the church that are...
I mean, the main thing he's holding over them is if they get booted from the church, they lose their family and stuff, right? I have to think is the main thing.
You lose your family.
And like you've
lose
really
your
devoted
job.
your whole life to this.
And you have... That's the thing, too, with a lot of these groups. And I know we touched on it a lot with... Children of God, is like when you're in there for your whole life, especially like someone like Leah Remini who's born into it, you don't know anything else. You don't know anything about going out and getting a real job and living in society. So it's a really terrifying thing to leave, to put up with it.
Yeah. So if this godlike person kicks you out, where would you even go?
Yeah.
What would you do?
This 5'3" godlike person.
And it's the subject is so big, and we didn't even get into it before because I wanted to focus on the fair game thing. But Hubbard wrote around the same time as fair game, he wrote a thing, one of his documents, and called it a disconnect. And then that's what they call it. They say you need to disconnect from this person. This person is a suppressive person to Scientology. And that's anybody that's not a Scientologist. So your family members,
Yeah. And if you watch that, I keep forgetting, but Going Clear, Steering Clear? Going Clear. There's a lot of, personal firsthand accounts of people where their family disconnected from them. And they never saw them again.
Would be better off if they steer cleared, but they did not.
Well, I know specifically one that pops in my mind is that woman in there. I can't remember her name, but she made it all the way up to OT8. She was at the top of the fucking bridge, and they declared her son, I can't remember what he did, but he did something, and David Miscavige declared that her son was now a suppressive person, and that was it. She wasn't going to be able to talk to her son anymore, and she was like, I've made it to the top, but you're not going to tell me. She had enough sense about her to say, you're not going to tell me I'm not talking to my son anymore, so she got out, yeah.
It's a lot of money, though, she threw away also.
Millions of dollars at that point.
So there's an OT9, though, now, right?
No, it's rumored.
Rumor and innuendo is that there's an OT9 out
I was
there.
reading about it, and it's rumored, but it's not.
Because I think I remember Ortega talking about it on another podcast, the one that you had sent us to check out. I think I remember him touching on, like, there's talks of, like, an OT9.
Yeah.
It just seems like whenever they need to raise the bar, they're just going to, there's another OT level, so give us $10,000 cash, and we'll start your audits and whatever else you need.
But, it's weird, too, with the OT levels. It's like Tom Cruise, last thing I saw, he was a OT7. He hasn't made it to the top. So I'm like, damn, how's that woman OT8 and Tom Cruise?
Yeah, what's he doing?
He's not clear yet. Or as clear as her.
I guess. I don't know. You would think Tom Cruise would be at the top of the chain.
Well,
as
he
far
can
as
certainly
OTs.
afford it.
Oh, yeah.
He's got that Days of Thunder money coming.
According to Janet Rittman, in late fall of 2004, Miscavige called together 70 senior church executives in a pair of double-wide trailers normally used as the international management team offices. They were ordered to play a game of musical chairs in the management conference room, and those who failed to get a chair when the music stopped would be, quote, offloaded from the base to be sent away from their spouses and children to live in the most remote and unpleasant locations owned by Scientology.
It's
Where would that be?
first of all, if you're like Miscavige, what the fuck does musical chairs have to prove about anything? That you're just going to ship these people off.
It's just like
Mind control, just fucking with people.
dictator.
But still, wouldn't you
fucking-
want to keep like the best minds around you and not just punish? Like you would, like we're talking about the top executives here. These are the top of the people.
He just keeps everyone on edge, you know, as a way to
Yeah.
Also,
maintain control at the top.
fucking intense was this game of musical chairs?
Well,
Also, how long's that line with 70 chairs? So you have 69 chairs laid out, or maybe they cut it quick, but still, you're walking in a circle of 60 chairs.
Well, and also, what are they doing in double wide trailers? I thought they had like extensive real estate holdings all over the world.
so as Queen's Greatest Hits was played, the competition for seats became increasingly fierce. Quote, by the time the number had dwindled to 20, people were throwing one another against walls, ripping seats from one another's hands, wrestling one another to the floor.
We are the champions.
This one seems like me in any competition I'm ever in. Like it's that intense.
Well, I mean,
I like to think, Dave, they were playing another one bites the dust. Dun, 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 dun.
that's the greatest hits, so it probably came up at some
Maybe
point.
Flash.
But, I
Fat
mean,
bottom girls. Just, like, take up a couple seats. We can go on and on.
Or Bicycle. Bicycle.
I love that song.
That is
Bicycle.
one of the worst songs of all
Oh,
time.
I love that
It
song.
is so bad and so obnoxious.
Between the Buried and Me does a cover of it. It's fucking phenomenal. It's really good. By the end of the game, Miscavige ordered that all executives were to stay in the conference room and sleep under tables until further notice. They stayed there for the next few days with occasional deliveries of food before being released. The church's then spokesman, Tommy Davis, has acknowledged that the, quote, musical chairs incident occurred and says that, quote, intended to demonstrate how disruptive wholesale changes could be on an organization.
Yeah, it's a life lesson.
Yeah. But he dismisses the accounts of threats and violence, which I...
Jesus.
Yeah. And I misspoke. I think in part one, I never corrected myself. I wanted to. I think in part one, I said Tommy Davis was the really punchable spokesman. He's not the spokesman anymore, but
But he's still probably punchable.
he's very punchable. Yeah, but he's not the main spokesman anymore. Later in 2004, according to Reitman, a purge was carried out of staff at the base. Hundreds were sent to the RPF, while dozens of others were expelled from the Sea Org with, quote, huge freeloader bills. Because remember, we said, like, if you got kicked out, you were then retroactively
pay
billed.
that shit.
Yeah. And the RPF is another punishment thing. We didn't have time to establish that. It's one of their branches of whatever.
The tentacles on this thing are just so...
It's just nonstop with terms and all
possible to even cover it all.
Yeah. So they were all hit with these freeloader bills for all the auditing and stuff they had received over the years. Dozens of senior executives were accused of being suppressive persons. They were said to have been confined in the management team offices in order to carry out, quote, A to E steps, which is a set of penances to demonstrate that they had to repent for their crimes and be reformed. In particular, they were to confess and identify which of them were, quote, defying Miscavige and sabotaging Scientology with their incompetence. The management offices, which had formerly been referred to as the quote, CMO int trailer, became known as the A to E room, the SP hole, and then ultimately just the hole.
The hole.
From 2004 to 2007, the number of people confined in the hole increased from 40 up to 100. They slept in cots or in sleeping bags, squeezed into every available floor space or on desktops. Men would sleep around the conference table, while women slept in cubicles and small offices around the main conference room. They were so crowded that there was barely any room to move, and according to one of those present, quote, everyone sleeping with only about 6 inches on either either side, above you, below you. Getting up in the middle of the night, you disturb everyone.
So this went on for 3 years?
Yeah, this went on for years.
This is unbelievable.
Just the fact that people put up with this.
Yeah.
They were only allowed to leave to attend church events or to be taken to shower in a nearby maintenance garage, to which they were taken 2 at a time under guard. Food was brought to them on golf carts from the gold-based mess hall, as the executives were not allowed to eat with the rest of the staff, and they were only given 10 to 15 minutes to eat. That's like fucking jail. Like,
Yeah.
you get your food, and it's like...
Slop it down.
And with all those people, then you're probably fighting just to be in line to get your food before they leave.
Yeah. According to one of the executives, the food was, quote, like leftovers, slops, bits of meat, soupy kind of leftovers thrown into a pot and cooked, and barely edible.
Yummy.
The building was said to be infested with ants, and on several occasions, electricity was turned off, causing the temperature inside to reach 106 degrees Fahrenheit due to lack of air conditioning.
Well, you're talking Southern
that's-
California in the summer here.
Yeah.
That's the worst part of all this. Just I couldn't handle that heat.
Yeah.
and
What
that
does it
body
smell like
heat.
in there?
Right.
Yeah, a bunch of like
Because they're
100
showering
people.
how often?
Ugh.
Once every, what did we say?
I don't think we did.
Yeah, because they took them to a thing to shower.
Yeah, they were
A
taken.
maintenance garage.
Yeah, it doesn't say how often,
A nearby maintenance
I
garage.
can't
They're taking 2 at a
imagine-
time under guard.
but I can't imagine it's regular.
I would imagine
Not 3
once-
times a day that would
Probably
be required.
once every like 2 months or something.
Jesus.
Where are they shitting and pissing? Like, is there a bathroom at least available?
I don't know.
I mean, there has to be something.
Some form of.
But does there
something.
have to be, Dave? Would it be that outlandish if they're just shitting or pissing in one of these cubicles
For
or something?
3 years?
So like, that's the shit cubicle. Go in that one. That's the piss cubicle over there.
Sometimes
Buckets maybe, and they're dumping the buckets.
Oh, God.
if there's not a bathroom, I
They're
would
not giving
assume.
them air condition. They might not be giving them plumbing. Just saying.
Sometimes executives were allowed out for a short time to attend church events, but many ended up spending several months or even years in the hole without leaving.
Can you imagine how raggedy you'd be showing up to a church event? Like you haven't shaved, you have the same clothes on, you smell like the shit you just put in that bucket. Like
That's like that BBC documentary, that Scientology and Me, when Mike Rinder shows up to defend the church against John Sweeney. He looks fucking worn out, man. He's skinny, his face is real sunken. He does not look healthy at all.
Yeah.
The individuals who were later named by the media as being held in the hole represented pretty much like a who's who of Scientology's top management. They included Debbie Cook, the head of the Church of Scientology's flag service organization, which the flag service is another one of David Miscavige's like real high up things that he just made up, but it's considered high up.
Right.
Hubbard Jensch, the president of the Church of Scientology International, Guillaume Leserve, the executive director international, and the church's top management official, Marty Rathbun, the inspector general of the Religious Technology Center, Wendell Reynolds, the international finance director, Mike Rinder, the commanding officer of the Office of Special Affairs, Norman Starkey, the former captain of Hubbard's ship, the Apollo, and Mark Yeager, the commanding officer of the Commodore's messenger organization.
Oh. So who's who of muckety mucks in Scientology?
So when these people defected, this was like an oh shit moment for Scientology when all this stuff came out. Executives who eventually escaped from the hole have said that people were forced to practice group confessions in which they would confess supposed transgressions against David Miscavige, bad thoughts they had about Scientology, and disclose their sexual fantasies.
Oh, I bet that was
Damn.
fun.
It's always the sex stuff with these groups.
Yeah, I want L. Ron Staten and his bozo hair and rotting teeth to eat my ass, then tag team me with Xenu.
that got me a little hard. I don't need the blue chew anymore.
Debbie Cook, who spent 7 weeks in the hole in 2007, said, quote, "Most of the time the activities in the hole were either you were confessing your own sins or bad things you'd done or getting people to confess theirs." Mike Rinder noted on this weird personal dynamic that started to happen living in the hole, saying, quote, "These were your friends, people you had traveled with, but then you get in the hole, you can't trust anybody." So everybody's ratting on everybody and trying to get ahead. And
Yep.
Mike Rinder told the Tampa Bay Times that interrogations, quote, would be carried out by whoever happened to be there. 20 people, 30 people, 50 people, all standing up and screaming at you. And ultimately, it's sort of developed into physical violence, torture, to extricate these confessions out of people.
Confess. Confess.
Confess what you did to David Miscavige. Or how you're trying to sabotage Scientology.
Shame. Shame.
And then they start smacking the shit out of you.
Isn't that Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Yeah. The show.
Confess.
Half the audience didn't get that.
That's a pretty wild episode or season when they make her do the atonement.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I'll show you guys.
Sounds great.
Here's my favorite character. I wanted her to win to come out on top.
Really?
Loved her.
I hated her. I like Jamie, though.
Mm-hmm.
I always like Jamie.
Mm-hmm. Mike, you having fun? What are you doing over there?
Yes, it's great.
Who do you like better, Jamie or Cersei?
Probably Cersei, because I don't like what Jamie did to her dad. So,
Really?
yeah.
Who is her dad? Just take a guess at what her dad's name was.
Herzog.
Herzog.
Yeah.
Close.
He was the god of like that lake. Like Talon. I know my Game of Thrones.
All right. Moving on.
So on why people didn't stand up for themselves or leave the whole, Mike Rinder told Tampa Bay Times, quote, if you leave, you are going to lose contact with your family and any friends who are Scientologists. You have it pounded into you the whole time that the only reason someone leaves a group like that is because they are bad and you have done something that forces you to have to leave.
You're holding your whole family hostage, more or less.
Yeah. He also said that people had invested a great deal of themselves into Scientology, that Sea Org members have, quote, made a commitment beyond even a single lifetime, which we all know the billion-year contract, and that the overwhelming attitude was, quote, I've lived through many lifetimes, and there are lots of experiences that I've had that are far worse than this, so I can put up with this, and I can stand it.
That's just extreme mind control there.
Yeah.
And plus, it makes it easier for your family to make you a suppressive person because, they're not really your family. You're a Thetan who has lots of families.
Right. That's what I think it was it part 2 or 3 we were talking where you said when you talked about people letting their kids just go on the Sea Org and stuff. And that's what it was like. You have these past lives. So there's like not this family dynamic like there would normally be there because it's like, oh, I was some fucking ruler of something back in my past life, so
and I'll have another family next time.
Yeah. So kiss my ass, Mom. I'll do whatever the fuck I want.
My next one will be so much better than you.
Former church members have said that the conditions in the hole worsened in 2006 after several executives had escaped. Security was tightened to prevent the confined executives from, quote, blowing, which means defecting. John Berceau says that he was ordered to install steel bars across the doors of the building and the windows were modified so they could only be opened a few inches. Another staff member objected, pointing out that any outsider could see the bars, and they were removed after a few weeks, but the building was guarded around the clock to prevent anyone else from escaping. In this
it's
John
felony kidnapping. It gets you 20 years in federal prison.
Yeah. And this John Berceau guy is not like he's a very credible person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He's not like some, there's no reason for this guy to lie about anything that he says. From 2006, according to Rinder, executives undergoing group confessions were made to stand in big trash cans in the middle of the floor with signs around their necks on which various derogatory statements were written.
This gets better and better.
Mike Rinder described how it became, quote, relatively routine for people to be, quote, slapped, punched, kicked, pushed, shoved, thrown up against the wall in order to make them confess. He told the Tampa Bay Times that he and other people were made to continuously crawl around the conference room table with their pant legs rolled up, getting kicked from behind if they stopped, which resulted in them suffering really like bad rug burn on their knees.
Oh my God.
This reminds me of, was it Jonestown? When they would pull you up front and let
Get your ass kicked?
you get your ass kicked.
Yeah.
What was the one story we talked about specifically? Do you remember? Somebody did something. I can't remember. And they brought him up front and let people just beat the shit out of like this young kid or
Oh,
It was on tape.
Yeah, because he was mouthing off. I mean, he wasn't doing anything that deserved to get beat up.
right?
Yeah.
And they just let everyone kind of smack him around.
Let the old
and Jim-
people beat him
yeah.
up that time. Because that's what Jim's like, you want some of the seniors. And the seniors came up and kicked his ass. Willie Malone.
Willie Malone. There it is.
Mouthing off.
Jonestown Part 1, 2, and 3 available in the archives.
If we have to put you in a garbage can, we're going to put a sign on you that says, I never watched Game of Thrones. And we'll just yell at you. You suck.
I put it back to The Office. What's the episode where Dwight betrays Michael and goes and talks to Jan?
Oh, yeah.
And he has to stand up on the desk and hold that sign?
It says liar on it.
I'll just stand there in shame holding a sign that says, I've never seen Game of Thrones. People come up and smack me and spit on me and throw me against a wall.
He goes to the dentist, and Michael's like, what's the name? And he's like, Crentis. So after this whole rug burn on the knees thing, Debbie Cook testified in a San Antonio court in 2012 that she had been on the phone with David Miscavige when two Scientologists crawled in through her office window and kidnapped her, taking her to the hole. She said that she had been, quote, put in a trash can, had cold water poured over her, and slapped. According to Marty Rathburn, who was also in the hole at the time for 12 hours, he said, quote, Debbie was made to stand in a large garbage can and face 100 people screaming at her, demanding a confession as to her, quote, homosexual tendencies. While this was going on, water was poured over her head, signs were put around Debbie's neck, one marked in magic marker, quote, lesbo. While this torture proceeded, Debbie was repeatedly slapped across the face by other women in the room during the interrogation. Debbie never did break. So, humanitarian awards and human rights.
Why are these guys such homophobic assholes?
It's all. I think that interview with Tony Ortega talking about the fair game stuff. Like he said, they'll never change because this is all just a thing of L. Ron Hubbard's mind. This is all his beliefs, and they just follow whatever he said to a T. He was extremely homophobic. He was extremely misogynistic.
There you have it, then.
Yeah. But human rights awards and shit, my ass.
Yeah, great people. Did Debbie have, like, was she gay? Was this just something someone started to get her in shit? Like, how did that even come about that they're so aggressive about something that...
I'm not sure. I don't think I think she's married, if I'm correct.
Married to a man.
Yeah. Marty Rathburn only spent 4 days in the hole in 2004, but says that he left after seeing his old friend Tom DeVote being physically beaten by David Miscavige. According to Marty, one night while the incarcerated executives were ordered to jog to a building 400 yards away and back, as they were herded back to their office prison, he broke away and hid in bushes until the group had disappeared from sight. He retrieved his motorcycle and hid in the brush and drove out through the gold-based gates when they were opened to let another car in. So he just took off.
Gone.
You're probably like Andy Dufresne out there with his hands up in the air. Woo!
Rain coming down.
He gets a lot of criticism.
Although he did better. He didn't crawl through shit.
True.
He gets a lot of criticism, and I almost like jumped on board with that for a minute. Like, and I know Mike Rinder gets it a lot because he like organized fair game things, and it's like a lot of people are like, "Oh, you want us to feel sorry for you now, but you were just as big of a part of the problem as anybody else." And it's like I get that point of view, but at the same time,
better late than never.
Yeah, what do you want him to do? Sit there and suffer in it forever, or continue to do it forever, or it takes people to leave to do something about it.
And to spill the beans on all these stories.
Yeah.
Sure.
And it's not like they don't feel bad for it either, I know specifically Mike Rinder has come out and said, he feels terrible for a lot of the shit that he did. DeVoe left Scientology in May 2005 after he was allegedly attacked by David Miscavige. According to DeVoe, he told his wife, which was a David Miscavige aide, that he would fight back if it happened again. He was declared a suppressive person and announced his intention to leave. The compound's guard refused to open the gate, so he climbed the fence and walked to Hemet, California, 6 miles away. And then later on, they tracked him down and sent him a freeloader bill for $98,000.
And I think, as we said in past episodes, freeloader bills, they were not legally binding.
No, I mean, it's part of the billion-year contract. It's kind of like the same thing.
You can go ahead and shred that there, DeVoe, and no one's going to come after you for that. Or they might come after you, but you don't legally have to pay it.
It's so stupid. Mike Rinder spent almost 2 years in the hole between 2004 and 2007, leaving it occasionally to deal with public relation matters like the one we were talking about, the BBC.
Which is a good little half-hour documentary if anyone wants to check that out. It's wild.
It wraps a lot of it up in about 30 minutes.
You mean after 5 weeks of Scientology, if people still are craving more?
I want more
Go check this out.
Scientology.
If anything, watch it for John Sweeney blowing up on Tommy
that guy
Davis.
goes nuts.
Man, he gets pissed. He's finally there's like 20 minutes in that thing. He had enough. Regarding that BBC documentary plays a big part in why Mike Rinder ended up defecting. He said that Miscavige was furious with him with the way that John Sweeney had been handled and ordered Mike Rinder to go to Sussex and dig ditches on a church property there. Which, I mean, if you watch, I would recommend if anybody's that interested or has been interested, to go watch it. And what was Mike Rinder supposed to do? I don't understand. But instead of going to dig the ditches, he defected and eventually settled in Denver, Colorado. And I'm sure anybody that's seen Leah Remini's A&E show knows who Mike Rinder is.
Is her show still on?
No, not anymore.
No.
It had like 3 seasons, I think.
She still has a reality show, though, doesn't she? Like following her and her family? Or maybe that just...
I know.
I'm not sure.
Maybe I just saw old reruns of that show then.
Debbie Cook left the hole in May 2007 after spending 7 weeks there when she was sent back to Clearwater, Florida to organize a major public event involving David Miscavige. According to Cook, she was driven to downtown Clearwater by another staff member along with her husband to eat at the church's dining hall. The couple took the opportunity to escape Scientology when a staff member went inside to get breakfast. Cook jumped into the driver's seat and drove with her husband to the nearest car rental outlet, rented a car to drive up to her father's house in North Carolina. Before they got there, they were intercepted by church officials and ordered to return to Clearwater.
Damn. I'm going to wear a disguise next time I go to Clearwater, just in case.
It sucks, too, man, because fucking Clearwater is gorgeous.
Yeah,
if there is a shining spot of Florida, it's Clearwater. And now it's fucking ruined for me because of these assholes. That's my opinion.
So Florida literally has nothing good now?
Oh, some of those beach bars at Clearwater are still pretty awesome. I don't care if my money's going to Scientology.
It's a good time.
Clearwater is so awesome. If you've never been to Clearwater, you should go. This is not a paid advertisement for
Clearwater. It is
Clearwater,
cool.
but that's a nice little town. I had one of my buddy's bachelor parties there, and it was sweet.
She spent 3 weeks under guard at one point, writing a letter to her mother that if she was not released, she, quote, would take whatever steps necessary, like slitting my wrists, before finally signing a severance agreement. She later said at that point, quote, I would have signed it. I would have stabbed babies over and over again and loved it. So she just wanted the fuck out of there.
I wonder why.
John Brousseau was not sent to the hole, but what he saw of it made him decide to leave Scientology in 2010 after being a part of the church for 33 years. He was struck by how, quote, dozens of these people in the hole, they were just so alive, but I looked at them now and they were just husks. They wouldn't say or originate anything. They seemed to have no purpose, like they were just sheep. There's no way 100 people could be evil, horrid, suppressive persons, and DM's the only ethical one. No way. DM being David Miscavige.
So it only took him 30 years.
Well,
but again, you're right. Better late than never.
Yeah. And I mean, in fairness to him, L. Ron Hubbard wasn't doing this kind of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It wasn't wacky. I mean, it was wacky back then, but
I mean,
not
you were
this
getting,
level of wacky.
Yeah, I mean, you were getting thrown overboard and whatnot, but...
That's just like going for a swim, though. That's all right.
He had known and been friends with some of the people in the hole for decades, and just couldn't stand what he was seeing. And as he put it, quote, I can't stop it, but at least I can stop supporting it, so I left. In 2009, Mark and Claire Headley sued the church under the Federal Victims of Trafficking and Violence Protection Act of 2000. In response, church lawyers argued that the First Amendment prohibited the courts from considering, quote, a forced labor claim premised upon social and psychological factors because they concern, quote, the beliefs, the religious upbringing, the religious training, the religious practices, the religious lifestyle, restraints of a religious order. So this is where stuff gets really fucking shitty, in my opinion.
This
like
is where
really,
Ian gets angry.
Yeah.
I mean, so we're hiding behind religious freedom,
Right?
Saying we can do whatever we want to people.
Yeah. The church acknowledged that the rules under which the Headleys lived included a ban on having children, censored mail, monitored phone calls, needing permission to have internet access, and being disciplined through manual labor. The U.S. Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals noted in a ruling given in July of 2012 that Mark Headley had been made to clean human excrement by hand from an aeration pond on the compound with no protective equipment, while Claire Headley was banned from the dining hall for up to 8 months in 2002, causing her to lose 30 pounds. In addition, she was coerced into having 2 abortions to comply with the Sea Org's no children policy. The Headleys also experienced physical violence from Scientology executives and saw others being treated violently. However, the court found that the church was entitled to the protection of the free exercise of religion clause in the First Amendment and that it could use the, quote, ministerial exemptions in employment law to deflect litigation over its treatment of its members. The judge ruled that the First Amendment disallowed the courts from, quote, examining church operations rooted in religious scripture.
And that's the day Scientology became untouchable.
Yeah. There's a couple steps in this throughout the story that made them more untouchable than others. But yeah, this is a big one. Bringing into account for how it disciplined its members was, quote, precisely the type of entanglement that religious clauses prohibit. However, the Ninth Circuit did suggest that other types of claims would withstand appellate reviews, such as assault, battery, or, quote, any number of those other theories that might have better fit the evidence. I don't know what evidence you need. You can just ban somebody from being able to eat or force them to get abortions.
Religious freedoms, Ian. Quit attacking their religion and beliefs.
But they're there under their own free will, I guess, as the end argument, right?
I mean, that's how that's seen as they are. Are they really, though?
If you're going to submit to these rules and stick around, I don't know. That's how I'm looking at it.
But you can't even leave. Like, if you want, like, there's guards and gates.
Or is that all for show? I mean, can you leave if you want to?
Well,
see, that seems to be a different
back.
story. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what we're missing here.
Well, the ruling effectively made it impossible to bring charges against the church based on claims of trafficking. And as one attorney puts it, quote, here's a church saying, albeit in a civil situation, there is nothing improper with this type of conduct and no ill motive can be imbued to the church. Former U.S. federal prosecutor Michael Sagal says that the ruling, quote, doesn't seem to leave much room for hope of success on criminal prosecution. Because if you can do all that, I paraphrase this stuff. I mean, they had a really strong case, and we're going to get into a second here how strong the FBI felt this case was. And then for a court to shut it down, it's like, well, fuck, they can do whatever they want now.
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing new. I mean, the Catholic Church has been covering up sex abuse cases for 50 years, and they should have been charged under RICO statutes as a criminal organization for that a long time ago.
Yeah. While the court case was going on in 2009, the FBI opened an investigation into potential human trafficking by the Church of Scientology. The Tampa Bay Times reported that the FBI had aerial surveillance of the property that showed columns of executives being escorted to and from the hall. From various reportings by Tony Ortega, the FBI was ready to go and raid the gold base, but the U.S. District Court judge dismissing the Mark and Claire Headley's complaints against the church just completely killed the raid. If a court had already said that anything the church did fell under the First Amendment for this kind of treatment, there was nothing that the FBI could do. And according to Tony Ortega and the sources that he cites and stuff regarding this, is that they were like ready to just go raid that whole fucking place.
It's interesting.
Yep. So effectively, it just sounds like that they can just, now
they have free reign to do whatever they want.
Tax exemption. Yeah. Do whatever
exempt
you want.
From prosecution, exempt from civil suits.
Yep. Man, it really does bring it back to that first quote that I said from Elron. I think it was in part 1 where he said, I don't know if I'm going to destroy the Catholic Church or just build a new one.
There you go.
The other big controversy with this whole thing is, where is David's wife, Shelly Miscavige? Because she hasn't been seen in years. Shelly worked as one of the messengers while sailing on the Apollo and would later marry David Miscavige in December of 1982. She was described as being really tough and strict in Scientology, like kind of like her husband, but she had like a more understanding side to her too, like wasn't absolutely brutal. So before we get into the details on Shelly Miscavige missing, she played a big role in this whole grooming process to find Tom Cruise a new girlfriend, which is super creepy. It's kind of underreported. They'd go over it in the Going Clear documentary, but it's super fucked up. I think it's worth touching on real quick.
Just combing the ranks of Scientology to find someone appropriate for Tom.
Yeah.
Well, he deserves the best of the best, does he not?
I guess he does. He was in Days of Thunder.
Obviously, and he had that volleyball scene in Top Gun. And then I think he made a couple other movies, but nothing worthwhile.
So this woman, Nazanin Benaidi, she cannot speak publicly about this whole issue because of a non-disclosure agreement that the church got her to sign. But details are available from FBI testimony. Because like I said, the FBI was ready to raid this fucking thing. They had everything ready to go. So while Tom Cruise was in Spain, Scientology was opening a new church in Madrid, and he was overheard complaining that he needed a new girlfriend. So they got to keep Tom happy. So they started putting the wheels in motion. And soon after that, this young Scientologist pre-med student named Nazanin Benaidi was told that she was going to get a special assignment. And the special assignment was that she's going to be like this ambassador of the church and help with all their world, their like world international kind of stuff.
With that kind of high-ranking position, sounds like there's a lot of torture involved.
She was really into it. She had even set a monthly record for selling L. Ron Hubbard books.
Wow,
so she was
great.
Yeah, she was on top of it.
Set the monthly record. Because of course they keep track of that, and they have like competitions probably internally.
Right.
LRH would be mighty proud.
Yeah.
David Miscavige assigned Nazanin's case to key church official Greg Wilhere and his wife Shelly Miscavige. He put Nazanin through a 1-month program of on-camera interviews, intensive auditing, and some security checks. So we remember the security checks, all those goofy-ass questions.
Mm-hmm. Like, did you ever have intercourse with a member of your family?
Right.
That was a good one. Mike admitted it.
I don't recall any of that.
I believe the direct quote was, "If you thought about masturbating to one of them, does that still count?"
That actually was a direct quote.
So what I said. That was like 8 weeks ago. I can't remember what I said back then.
She was moved to the Celebrity Center, separated from her family, and then they started talking about certain problems that would cause an issue of her dating Tom Cruise. Mainly, the big one was that she had a long-term boyfriend at the time. So what they did was showed her a transcript of his auditing session, which he admitted that he had an affair. So she broke up with him. Now it's debated if that's even real or not.
Wow.
So they uproot this girl's life, move her away from her family, ruin her relationship with her long-term boyfriend. And so now that she was single, now there was time for them to give her a makeover. Wilhere took her to an orthodontist to have her braces removed because Tom Cruise can't date anybody that has braces, God forbid. And then took her to Burberry and several other stores in Beverly Hills where he bought her $20,000 worth of clothes. At the Celebrity Center, they had a man who worked for Tom Cruise as a hairstylist to have her hair dyed specifically to Tom Cruise's liking.
Oh my goodness.
Nazanin was told that her makeover was part of the church's humanitarian mission, and she had to look for her best for conferences with world leaders. I feel really bad for this girl because she really did think that she was like getting this promotion within this organization. Only after she was flown first class to New York did she discover that she was actually going to be the girlfriend of Tom Cruise. So you don't even get to say in this. You're just
surprise.
There you go. Enjoy.
Doesn't matter if you like him or not. You're his girlfriend now. Within a month, she was living with Tom Cruise, and while at his house in Telluride, David Miscavige came to visit. Nazanin had a really bad headache that day. She had a hard time like focusing and like talking to David Miscavige, just something a normal normal person might have. And it really pissed off David Miscavige. And the next day, inches away from her face, Tom Cruise is just screaming in her face and punching the table and shit that he, like, how dare she offend the leader of the church. 2 weeks after that, church spokesman Tommy Davis rolls in and delivered the news to Nazanin that her relationship with Tom Cruise was effectively over.
This is wild.
Yeah.
Poor girl just had a headache.
So they just,
and it probably was the best thing that's ever happened to her.
They just uproot her whole fucking life and do all this shit. And so, and this quote about it
got her out of Scientology.
Well, this quote about it is this is from Paul Haggis about what happened to her next. Quote, according to her, the church had came to her apartment with her mom and found every photograph of the two of them together, meaning Nazanin and Tom Cruise, and took them away, and every scrap, every letter, everything, they tossed it as if it never existed. And she was really upset because she was really hurt by the whole thing. And she made the mistake of telling her friend, who immediately went to tell someone in the church. She agreed to do punishment like cleaning out public bathrooms on her hands and knees with a toothbrush, while other people she knew were stepping over her. She did nothing wrong other than tell her friend that she was heartbroken, and this was the way she was treated.
Wow.
So, Tom Cruise getting all his humanitarian awards.
So is she still in Scientology?
I'm not completely sure. I know she has there's
so
like a
strict.
strict.
The best thing that's ever happened to her.
It was like a strict non-disclosure agreement that she can never talk about it. Anything comes from like the director Paul Haggis or the FBI files about it.
It's nuts. I know that she was in Homeland a couple of seasons. I can't remember anything else I've ever seen her in.
Yeah, this whole thing, like it's almost like from other stuff I was reading about, it was almost like we took you from being this pre-med student, like that's a bad thing, but pre-med student with braces and like a nobody, and made you Tom Cruise's girlfriend and made you an actress. Like, fuck off. So with that, let's get into the last thing here. Where is Shelly Miscavige? So we said that she was, real strict like her husband, but had more of an understanding side to her. And all of this reporting is done by Tony Ortega over at the Underground Bunker. This is not anything that I have come up with on my own. Just want to make that clear for the record. In 2005, David Miscavige announced that he was going to Los Angeles to work on the new set of re-editing L. Ron Hubbard books that he wanted published. Shelly said that she was going to stay at the international base and asked a young woman that was her assistant to stay with her. It was the first time in that young woman's career that David and Shelly Miscavige hadn't traveled someplace together, because everybody said like they were like inseparable. This young woman did what she was told and stayed at the base. While David Miscavige was gone, Shelly started to work on this thing called the org chart with names and information of employees that they had new jobs. It's basically like an open jobs list, and it needed filled in. Okay. So she did this on her own, so it wouldn't be an issue anymore.
That's nice of her.
So, and David Miscavige had constantly complained about that he was going to need to move out of his living quarters in the villas, which were 3 buildings on the north side of the property, so they could be renovated and turned over to the CMO International. More of their random
orgs.
Yeah, all their random shit. While he was gone, Shelly also took care of that, and she had all this stuff taken care of for him. About this time, Scientology spokesman Mike Rinder arrived at the base after visiting Miscavige in Los Angeles. He was immediately cornered by Shelly, and, quote, she took me to the back patio of the RTC building, which is really isolated. There was no one around. She asked me, when you saw him, was Dave wearing his gold or platinum wedding ring? So Mike Rinder thinks that this was just because he said that he had 3 different wedding rings that he would wear, but he seemed like this was more of was he wearing his wedding ring when you saw him?
Not really which one.
Yeah. Mike Rinder said that this was the last conversation that he ever had with Shelly, because, as we know, he was put into the hole as a prisoner for more than a year and then defected. By the time that Miscavige did return to the base a couple months after he'd gone to LA, the org chart had been filled and the villas were taken care of. Like Shelly took care of all this shit for him, and he was not happy at all about it. There's eyewitnesses said that he just completely flipped out and said, quote, he said, "We're a bunch of treasonous fucks for just taking care of some work on, you know."
So she was getting the inkling that maybe he was going to get rid of her, so she was trying to take care of all this stuff to get back in his good graces.
And that seemed to backfire big time because he didn't want her doing anything for him, because to him you would then be a treasonous fuck.
Treasonous fuck.
And
I like that. I'm going to start using that.
treasonous fuck.
Yeah.
And
Anytime someone wrongs me.
And then a week later, Shelly Miscavige vanished. She hasn't been seen since then in the public.
Wow.
Yep.
So he really didn't enjoy that she did that.
No, he did not. From Tony Ortega's reporting, he has reason to believe that she's this small complex in Lake Arrowhead where Scientology, they like, it's this place where they're set to preserve all of L. Ron Hubbard's all his writings and works and shit, like preserve it to where it'll last for like years
thank
and
goodness.
years. Yeah.
It'll be like a nuclear holocaust, and this is all that will remain in this country, and people will find it.
Yeah, I've
This
seen
country, this earth. That'll be it. That's what lives on.
I've seen stuff where they're like putting them on like these metal tablets and like storing them underground. Like it's very
It's very important knowledge.
yeah.
Gotta protect
It's scary
our thetans.
how long this might go on for.
Yeah. Well, she's
When you sign those billion-year contracts, though.
they have reason to believe that she's there according to his sources. But like we said, she's never been seen. Leah Remini filed a police report saying that she was a missing person. She filed that, and then 3 days later, the police came back and said that no, she's not missing. We talked to her, and everything's good. And Leah Remini's like, well, I'd like some proof of that. I don't think you don't have to give her proof of that, in all honesty.
Because she's not
The direct
I don't know.
family.
Yeah,
or
like an
anything
interested
that,
party
yeah.
that
Right.
filed that
So the
claim or
police just
whatever.
came back and were like, oh, yeah, we talked to her. She's fine.
Yeah. And what
Wow.
they think is suspicious is that this Lieutenant Andre Dawson is the one that took care of it, but Tony Ortega has noticed that he's been seen at numerous Church of Scientology
insider.
activities. Yeah. So I don't know. There's a lot more. There's more rabbit holes that everybody can dig down, with that. There's more details. Like I didn't want to touch on something that could get us in trouble.
Good call.
Probably a smart move.
But-
So this is the state of Scientology today then, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And if anybody wants to know any more about that stuff, go to TonyOrtega.org and read about Shelly Miscavige. She's got a ton of it. And there's other stuff. There's the Lisa McPherson girl that died because she needed psychiatric treatment. They don't believe in that.
No,
And
of course
she
not.
dehydrated. They won that case. There's so much that we didn't get to touch because it's just such a big it's a big
Some of
subject.
that stuff would have had us flipping fucking tables in here, though, too, probably.
And it's so fucking long and big, but it's really interesting. It's interesting to see a major, even though, I mean, he said like 20,000 members is what they're down to.
I think that's what you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're still a major, it's interesting to see a major religion.
How does that compare cult size-wise, if assuming we're calling them a cult? I mean, that's up to everyone to decide. But like Jonestown was bigger, wasn't it?
The height Jonestown's probably like 9,000.
Oh, okay. So maybe I'm just...
Children of God had more.
What were they at, like at their height?
I don't remember the exact numbers, more than 20,000 though.
These guys were closer to 50 at some point, right?
Yeah.
Scientology was?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, what did he say? The highest they ever got was like 100,000
That's a
way
lot
back
of
in the
fucking
day.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a ton there. I don't know. I guess 20,000 now doesn't seem like that much.
Not for what they portray themselves to be.
Right. I
And
mean,
how-
that doesn't even feel like an arena in
Yeah,
like a
like-
major city.
Like,
Or that just fills an arena. And that's it across the whole world.
yeah.
Yet they have all this money and they're so protected and safe.
Yeah. I mean, tax exempt status does a lot for having
Sure
all
does.
that money. And when you can talk wealthy people into donating to you and all that.
Well, I'm starting to think Necronomicon's a religion, right? We should be tax exempt.
I concur.
You're either with us or against us, and you don't want to be against us.
But it's interesting to see I guess a modern, something that's considered a religion by the U.S. government, at least, a modern thing that's clearly a cult, kind of grow in front of you and be able to
and
watch
clearly
it.
just made up out of nothing.
Clearly.
Yeah.
It's quite a religion, my friends. Quite a religion.
It was a
How do
journey.
you, Dave, how do you differentiate then, like you had mentioned the Catholic Church earlier, their beliefs and practices aren't necessarily criminal, but they had people in power that took advantage of that power. Whereas Scientology, it almost seems like some of their practices are borderline criminal.
It's a good point.
I don't know.
How do you reconcile that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
Like, I always just go back to, and I don't think he mentioned it. Did he mention it on yours? Tony Ortega says he doesn't like calling them a cult.
Yeah.
I think there's a big difference, though, in when you call someone a religion or call someone a cult, in my opinion. Like, calling them a religion, I think, almost gives them too much credibility. Whereas if you call them a cult, you're not going to take them as seriously.
I guess it's just in however someone's looking at it.
Because I guess you can call every
It's
religion
a fine
cult.
line, sure.
Yeah. I mean, you could, I do kind of see his point with it, where if you sit there and just argue whether or not it's a cult or a religion forever, you just keep going back and forth with it.
There's no right answer. You're never going to get anywhere.
Other than tax exemption.
Tax exemption, which was clearly the end game. So
It's always been the end game. It's money. It's always There's only a few things that cult leaders that keeps them going.
money and sex.
What was that original
In this
post?
case, it
though?
was money.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me pull it up here. That original post we had for Scientology was a quote from L. Ron Hubbard.
About starting a religion.
You don't get rich writing science fiction. If you want to get rich, you start a religion.
Clearly.
Quote from L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah.
And he's telling you what he's doing.
And you make yourself an admiral.
And a Commodore, if you will.
And a captain. Or no, it was Miscavige the
Yeah,
captain.
he just made himself the
No.
captain.
Whatever.
I'm
dude.
the captain.
Yeah. So man, it's interesting. There's, like I said, there's a fuck ton out there still.
It's been a wild series here.
Yeah. And like I said, stuff that I wanted to touch on, but I also didn't want to get us in any trouble,
Sure.
especially with doing this interview.
We still might get ourselves in trouble.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
We don't ask for permission. We ask for forgiveness. Quote,
Get 'em.
Necronomipod. We're going to put those on some thongs and sell them to some men and women across the country. Coming soon, Necro underwear. Ian, do you have anything else to close us out here on Scientology? I know you put a lot of time and research into all this. You're probably fried.
Yeah, like I said, it's really fascinating. It's really, really interesting to go down all of it. No, I would just say check out Tony Ortega's website.
Yeah. And then thanks again to Tony for doing
Yeah.
that interview with you. That
Yeah,
was
it's
really
great.
awesome. And
That-
to have
that-
it be our first interview and someone with that much credibility and, input and knowledge, that was awesome.
Yeah, I was just sitting there that one night, and I'm like, I'm gonna start reading his book on Paulette Cooper. I'm like, that would be a really cool interview. What's the worst that can happen? He'll just either tell me to fuck off, or he won't reply back. And literally in 5 minutes, he's like, oh, yeah, let's do it. It's
Great.
You can
Very
actually
cool.
find him too at tonyortega.org.
Yeah, that's
So,
his. Yeah,
That's his website.
Yeah,
The Underground Bunker. That's his daily news site. And through there, you can get through all his social media as well. So
yeah, and like I said, he's got a lot about Shelly Miscavige, and he's got a really, really interesting breakdown of the whole Lisa McPherson about her death. It's really interesting.
Dave, you got anything else on Scientology?
I would just, I guess I'd say thank you to everyone for sticking with us through these episodes.
Yeah. Hope
was
you guys
great.
enjoyed them. That was a nice little long series. We're going to have some fun next week, I think. We're not going to give it anything away, but we're going to have a little bit more fun. Take things down a notch, be a little more relaxing.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. We'll drink some beers. We'll talk something different. A few shout outs, actually a bunch of shout outs to some new patrons. We had a good couple weeks here. If you're interested in becoming a patron, again, we have the $1 level now and the $5 level. The $1 level will get you a shout out on the show. The $5 level gets you access to the bonus episodes and the Discord. Thank you to new patrons: Emery Merchant, Sean Fanuff, Angel Cleaves, Mackenzie Behrens, Jessica Allen, Martin Poldma, Kevin Conley, Jacob Harris, Danny Lungard, Brittany Ray Pewitt, Barry Jarman, Anna Martinez, Sarah Hoyt, Mason Deffenbaugh, Tara Rue, Console Wars, Chastity Breeding, Mary Vecchione, and Jessica Koshfis. Thank you very much to all you new patrons. If you're interested, that's patreon.com/Necronomipod. If you are a patron and I butchered your name, please hit us up and I will try to correct it. My apologies, but it's been a long episode and had several beers, and reading this gets a little blurry sometimes. But thank you very much. We appreciate all your support. Again, patreon.com/Necronomipod.
I mean, you're a cunning linguist, but you're not perfect.
Exactly. Thank you. Ian, what do you got?
For iTunes, I have one for Von Dutch 616, That Girl Duh, MPOW 82, Lee 121987. Lee, we will try to get Mr. Muggs back into every story.
I mean, I don't disagree with that. Mr. Muggs should be a part of every story. He's the patron saint of Necronomipod. I want a shirt that says Mug Life, and it's just his face.
Maybe she get a tattoo that says Mug Life.
Maybe that'll be my Necronomipod tattoo when we get to 5,000 episodes, like I said from the beginning.
5,000.
And Jacketh 92. Thank you guys for the reviews. And like we were just talking before we started recording, started out January with almost 3,000 downloads. And now for last month, November, had a little over 50,000. So
it's incredible.
It's a big number, fellas.
Yeah, it's been an awesome.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. So thank you, everybody, for even just listening. It's awesome. Very cool.
And I feel like it was a year ago when we actually started the process, right? Didn't you and I record a couple shows in December?
One.
And then we talked Dave into doing it with us after we recorded a few shows. And
right.
And then I think, did we do a couple in December? Or did we wait till January to start recording?
January.
Yeah, we just kind of jumped in.
Excuse me. That's when they were released. But didn't we record any? Didn't we do like a test show in December?
I listened to the original product that you two produced on your own. I'm like, there's some missing sauce here. I got to jump in and save this show.
We asked. You wanted no part of it at first. No part of it.
Thank you to everybody that's been listening.
That's been a hell of a first few 11 months.
Yeah, it's not even been a whole year yet.
Damn.
True.
Dave, what shout outs you got?
On Instagram, Sierra Chester, Brooklyn Z, CM Pigs, and Haley Taylor. On Twitter, Doxy Stoxy. Thanks, guys.
All right. We are on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Necronomipod. Again, merchandise available, Amazon.com. Search Necronomipod. We have all kinds of shirts, t-shirts, long sleeves, and hoodies available there for you as well. We appreciate you guys listening as always, and we'll check you next week.
All right. You guys ready for a cool down beer?
Cheers.